What's up, everybody? This is Arash from Wed Vend, the Wedding Vendor podcast. Today I have the legendary DJ Julius. Thank you for coming on the show, DJ Julius.
Thank you for having me.
We heard a lot about you from past guests, very good stories. But can you tell us how long you've been DJing weddings, please?
August of 1990, so it's been almost 21 and a half years. So.
Wow. How did you get started?
Actually, 31 and a half.
Yeah, 31 and a half years. How did you get started?
Oh, wow. Interesting. I wanted to be a doctor first, believe it or not. I wanted to be a heart surgeon. And I was doing really good at high school. I got full tuition to go to college. And then one night we decided to have a house party. And okay. I had a friend of mine who was a DJ. And we charged $10 for people to get in, believe it or not.
That's in the 80s, late 80s then?
Early 90s.
This early 90s,
yeah.
Okay.
And so we passed the flyers in high schools, and suddenly we had a line from my front door a couple of blocks down the street. We had about almost 250 people or so waiting in line to get in, and we couldn't fit everyone into our house. But we made so much money that night that I told myself, hey, this is kind of cool. So I started doing sound and lighting and got into DJing. And it went so great that I didn't go towards being a doctor.
So I understand the story as I have a similar background, but did your parents give you any pushback or family give you any pushback that this is a dead-end job, this is not the way to go?
Yeah, they used to say that, hey, look, you're doing great in high school, you got full tuition, you should be a doctor, and you know how all Persian, they want you to be a doctor, engineer, or lawyer, I guess. And I mean, it's amazing. I respect doctors, and I respect lawyers, and also engineers, but for some reason, this is something I started doing, and I loved it so much that I'm still into it.
There's also a little bit of confusion, so if you can help clear that up. Are you still a DJ or are you a realtor?
Both.
You're both right now?
Yes.
And which one do you enjoy doing more?
I should say I enjoy both of them, because in reality, in entertainment, you help people have fun and you're celebrating the most amazing time in their life, whether it has to do with birthday parties, clubs, weddings, to selling a house to somebody, which again, you're sharing the most interesting part of someone's life for them to get into their first house or to get a new house. So both jobs, I love them so much that I wouldn't say that I like one or the other more.
I think you're also a little lucky because you can sell houses during the day, and at night you can do a night gig, or I guess weddings might be more on weekends where you might be showing houses, let's say, during the week as well. So you kind of can do both, luckily for you.
And that's exactly how it is. Weekends I'm showing homes from morning till, let's say, 5 o'clock, and usually most showings end at around 5 p.m., 5 or 6 p.m. And then by that time I'm ready to go and gig. And our crew usually goes and sets up all the gear, so by the time I arrive, pretty much everything is ready for me.
I know you as a wedding DJ. Is that a negative thing to say to someone?
No.
What would you consider yourself? An artist, a DJ, a producer, a wedding DJ?
I wouldn't call myself an artist. I probably would say the person who makes the music is an artist.
Okay.
And everything that we're doing as DJs, we're playing their songs. If I was, let's say, a big name that you see in Vegas that produces their own music, yes, I can call myself an artist.
But you've done big clubs in Vegas.
Oh yeah, I've done big clubs. I would probably say more of an entertainer.
Okay.
That's probably what I would say.
And as an entertainer who has done clubs in Vegas and all over the world, do you prefer to do a club or do you prefer to do a wedding? If they're paying you the same amount for this Saturday, which one would you rather do?
So the easiest one is clubs. You go in and you play what you want to play, and people are down there dancing and having fun. And usually when you do a club, you might be up maybe for 45 minutes to 2 hours DJing, where when you're doing a wedding, it can last 6 hours, 10 hours. And then at the same time, there's so much more that goes into a wedding that in a club you don't have to deal with.
And I think if people don't already know, you don't just DJ the wedding, you also provide lighting if they want it, drapery,
we do anything from draping, lighting, sound system, visuals as far as putting it on a movie screen or on an LED panel, right. Special effects. So, and also we have musicians as well, like saxophone, percussion, violin. So we do musicians too.
Awesome. So this would be under your company, which is
Excellent Entertainment.
Excellent Entertainment. Awesome. And where are you based out of? I know you're in SoCal, San Diego, or
Southern California.
Southern California. Okay.
San Diego.
Cool. And if you're doing weddings, are you predominantly just doing Persian weddings, or are you doing American weddings? What's your ratio right now? Because being Persian, they sometimes assume that we 100% just do Persian weddings, and that's not the case.
Probably, I'm doing 70% Persian weddings and 30% non-Persian. But even when it gets to the Persian weddings of it, mostly like 60-40 is Persian and non-Persians getting married. So it's multicultural weddings that I DJ. But whether it's Persian, American, I've even done German and...
in German?
No,
here. Okay.
Here, like they wanted German music.
Right.
And Arabic music. So I've done other weddings that are not Persian or American music as well.
Gotcha. Since you provide, like normally, at least from my experiences with our Persian clients, they have a tendency to ask for a discount, let's say.
Right.
It's, I think, harder to ask for a discount if you're just a DJ. They might say, hey, like, what do you provide for a discount? And you can, say a discount or not. But I think it's easier for them to ask you if you're offering the lighting, the drapery, the screens, and the DJ. So do you provide any kind of discount that someone can get?
I usually don't provide an actual discount. We have our, let's say, DJ and musicians, whether they want to just hire the DJ or the DJ and musicians, we have a package that goes for that. And then we have packages for lighting or special effects. But what happens is if they combine all of them together, instead of charging them, let's say, multiple setups and multiple deliveries, then at that point they're only being charged one setup, one delivery. So they end up saving money when they include multiple stuff, because the setup is already there, and delivery is already there as well. So there's no reason for us to charge an extra. But like almost 80% of the time people ask me, hey, can I have a discount?
Yeah.
And my answer to them is that if I give you a discount, then every other client that I've worked with, I have to give them a discount too. So it's not fair for me to...
Can we do a little bit of role playing?
Sure.
So you're DJ Julius. I'll be the groom that's calling you up. Okay?
Yes.
Hey, DJ Julius, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
Good. I'm getting married on August 31st. Are you available?
Let me check my calendar. Yes, I am.
Awesome. We'd like to book a DJ and then maybe lights and drapery as well.
Sure.
Can you give me a range on your pricing?
DJ, if you need it for ceremony, cocktail, and reception, it's 5,000.
Okay.
Which includes sound system, and then lighting depends on how much lighting you need. We have uplights if you want to do the whole.
Can you give me an estimate if we have 10 tables and then we wanted, the floor lighting and then the uplights as well?
Sure. So you're looking at about, let's say, an additional 2,000, so 7,000 with the DJ.
And then I hate the walls in our hotel. Is there any kind of drapery you can provide all the walls?
Yes, we could do solid white. We can do sheared off-white.
Let's just do solid white. Keep it nice and clean.
No problem.
So what's the package price for the DJ, lighting, and drapery? And since we know each other, since I've known you for so long.
So can I ask how big of a room you have, so I know how much draping?
I don't know the size of a room. I know we have 200 guests.
Okay.
So it's a big ballroom at the Hyatt.
Let's just say your draping is going to be right around 2,500, 2,000 for lighting, and 5,000 for DJ. You're looking at about 9,500.
Okay, so what if I just pay you like cash all up front today? Can we do 8,000?
Doesn't make a difference if it's cash or...
I'll pay all of it today though.
Again, it doesn't make any difference if you pay me now or later.
If you book me though, I'll refer you to all my friends and family, and I have about 200 cousins who are going to get married in the next 2 years.
I'm sure at the end of your event, you'll be so happy that you're gonna be introducing me to.
Come on, because if you don't do it, the guy down the street said the exact same things you're offering for 6,000, and I just wanted to go with you because I want to give my business to you.
And I'm sure the guy down the street, he's a very good DJ, and that's his rate, and my rates are different.
So there's nothing you can do?
See, doing this for so many years, if I give you a discount that I wasn't fair to another person,
I won't tell. I promise.
But I know myself. I've known
you
that
tell
I've
him?
done it. No, I know that I've done that, so my conscience wouldn't be able to.
How about we do the price that you said, but you bring a free CO2 gun for the ceremony, for the reception?
Free CO2 gun.
Come on, let's make it happen.
How about I give you the free CO2 gun, and then I'll have you do my photography for 1 day.
I'm not a photographer.
So what kind of a business are you?
I have a tow trucking business.
Tow truck.
Yeah.
So if my car is stuck anytime.
Deal.
Perfect.
10 miles, anywhere you want, I'll tow it.
10 miles?
It's just a CO2.
You're in Southern California. You're in California. Anywhere you want to go, it's minimum 100 miles.
So do the lighting, and I'll do the tow truck anywhere you want.
It's okay, I'll take the 10 miles.
All right, see, so that I know I exaggerated a little bit,
right,
but I get that much pushback at least 1/3 of the time, where they go back and forth with me. I don't know exactly how it is with you, but I get. I saw your mom at the grocery store. Can we get a discount? I followed you on Instagram. Can I get a discount? And I'm like, well, why? If your dad is a lawyer or dentist or whatever, can I just get a discount by following him on Instagram? Can I get the 20% that you're asking for? Because it's not even a reasonable amount. It's not like bring a CO2 gun, for example. If they're spending $10,000, you might consider, doing that extra mile for them. And then the reason I was asking you is because you actually have a reputation of going that extra mile. That's why I wanted to get that out of you.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing when you're hiring someone who loves what they do. You shouldn't sit there and negotiate with them. Let them come in.
Because it's insulting?
No, because at the end of the day, you'll see the amount of work that they're doing, and you appreciate what they're doing for you. I mean, I've had so many events where they negotiate with me, and finally they saw that my rate is my rate, and they paid me what I asked for. But once the wedding was finished, they actually said, "Now we know that what you charge, how much you charge."
Someone's at the front door.
That's
your door, okay?
Yes.
Do we need to get that?
No, I'm sure
someone will get that.
Getting it.
Okay. So you kind of took care of that. So one of the stories I heard about you recently was there are some planners, Zora and Shora, who also do software design, and they were talking about the time.
Fabulous too.
They were talking about a bride who had a bouquet who she hated, and she was almost about to start crying because she's like, this bouquet is garbage, because I guess the bouquet designer didn't do a good job. So at that point, maybe you overheard or something where you said, hey, I'm going to go get a bouquet. And I think you went to Costco or somewhere, and you came back with a bouquet that was prettier than her bouquet, which she had spent like a couple $100 for. And you just gave it to him. You're like, hey, I got this. Don't worry. Problem solved. And she used that bouquet to like go down the aisle. She did that for her flower toss. She used the bouquet that you got her. And it's not like you charged her or anything. You just did it because you were what I think our main job is, we're problem solvers.
Right.
Things go wrong, and we're there to problem solve. So why do you do that? Why do you go out of your way to problem solve? You didn't get anything out of it. You just.
It's not the fact of getting anything out of it. It's somebody's big day, and even if there's something that has nothing to do with my part of a job that I can do to make it better, I would love to do it, because just getting that smile on their face, or knowing that they're super happy. I know exactly which wedding they're talking about. And when I arrived and I looked at the flowers, not only the bouquet, it wasn't done the way it was supposed to be. And when I went and I got the flowers and we changed it up, just the smile that I saw on her face, it meant so much to me. And that's all I want. I just want to make sure they're happy.
That I understand, because I would do the same if I could. Mm-hmm. But you also make the vendors happy. So I'm gonna give you a little story of mine. I don't know if you remember this story or not, but we did a wedding together many years ago, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago in Orange County. and you had actually, it was a big wedding, so you had brought like a band, like musicians to play with you while you were DJing. During this reception, we had a vendor room given to us. And the bride and groom, which was probably the last time this happened, had told us they're not going to feed us. And I was like, that's totally cool. I brought sandwiches for my crew. There was 6 of us because we were filming, photographing, we were doing everything. So these sandwiches were in my bag in the room, and one of your musicians went and ate one of the sandwiches. So I was pretty heated because I was like, dude, first, the bride and groom aren't feeding us. Second, the sandwiches we brought, I'm going to make sure my guys feed. So he essentially ate my sandwich. So I was pretty upset about that. And then I think I told you, I was like, hey man, one of your guys went in, or I told one of my guys went and told you, he's like, hey, Arash is like upset because one of your guys went and ate his sandwich. Right now, when we're thinking about it, it's funny, it doesn't matter. But at that time, because it had been such a long day, it was a multicultural wedding. So it was a 14-hour day for us. You brought me your credit card. You're like, hey, go to like Morton's, which was like across the street, buy steaks for everyone. And I was like, buy steaks for everyone? He's like, you're like, yeah, sorry it happened. Go buy steaks and whatever you want for everyone. I was like, that's very generous. I appreciate that. I'm not going to go buy steaks for everyone. But it just meant a lot that you were doing that. You didn't argue. You didn't ask why. You didn't ask what happened. You like, go fix. This is the solution to the problem. Go get steaks.
See, when you're working with everyone, whether it's hotel staff, florist, coordinator, or photographers, we're a big team. And the thing that goes in my head all the time is, okay, Arsh has been there from early in the morning, and usually the first person that gets there is you, because you start from the second they wake up, exactly, all the way to almost the last thing that happens in the wedding. So I know how many hours you guys are there and how hard you work, you have to run after them. So just knowing all that stuff, when something like that happens, I mean, for me to even give my credit card, say, hey, go to Morton's, which I really meant it.
I know you meant it. Yeah, it wasn't a tar off.
Right. It's the respect that I have for you or for anyone else that's working at that event. One of the things that I tell my DJs or even some people that I train is that anytime you're working at a wedding or any event, treat hotel staff like you want to be treated. Treat others like you want to be treated. And don't think because you're on stage, it's about you.
Right.
It's never about the DJ or the entertainment. To me, it's always about my client. They're the superstars.
Right.
We're just a tool that's making that event actually become nice as far as the entertainment portion of it. But if I can respect you and show you that I respect you and make your life easier or make a hotel staff life easier, then you know what? That event is going to go much smoother. And then anytime I want to work in that hotel or I want to work with you, I know you're going to say nothing but good stuff about me. And I mean, I've been to weddings where I've seen the entertainment or the DJ walk up to the hotel staff and being so rude to them and bossing them around. They're just like me and you. They're no different. We're all human beings. And that's what I've learned. And anyone that I work with, I say, hey, if you want to work with me, the only thing that I ask you is respect every single person, regardless of what they do. We're all equal.
That's your philosophy now, but I heard when you first started, you were very bossy, used to push people around. So how did you change? I'm just joking.
I know you're joking about
I'm just joking. I wanted to lead into the next part, which was I did a podcast with DJ Al recently, and he was basically saying how you kind of mentored him, you kind of taught him everything from the beginning, and not taught him just how to DJ. You taught him the business aspect of it. Right now I understand, but when I started, I thought that, hey, if you're training someone, let's say I trained a photographer back when I was starting, what prevents that person to take the knowledge I'm giving him and replace me or try to take my job? Now that sounds ridiculous, but you seem to have always had the mentality like, hey, I can help anyone, I can help bring someone up. So why do you do it, or why don't you have the fear that what you're teaching someone, they're just not going to use it and become your competition?
Competition is always good.
Okay.
I love competition because it makes me be better and it makes me be different. If I want to be the same Julius over and over and over and over, then it just I'll probably be a very boring person. But when I see somebody else that does something much better than I do, then that actually tells me, hey, you know what? You need to step up your game. Not because I want to be better than him, just because I need to change and do something different, or become better at something that I never knew that I was good at. And with Al, I mean, maybe from 1 to 10, Al only learned, or just from 1 to 100%, Al only learned 1% from me. He is not only super smart when it comes to picking up stuff, but the way he puts more energy into the things that he learns. He's great at what he does, and I give it to him. The other 99% of Al is him making it for himself, and he had to work hard to get there.
I'd say it's more than 1%, but I'll let you have to say with that. Do you have anyone in mind that you're like, hey, this person is like a competition for weddings for you right now? Like someone in SoCal who's doing things so differently that you're like, wow, this person is like just way out there. I gotta see what I can learn from this person. You don't have to say the name, but like, what are they doing differently if you think there is someone?
No, I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people, not only in Southern California, but all over the place that are much, much better than, you know.
What does that mean, much better though? Because I don't necessarily agree with that. Do they have more songs? Do they have more experience? Because
it could be more experience. It can be more songs, more equipment, or maybe the way that they're performing is different than the way that I perform. If I ever tell myself that I'm it and there's nothing better than me, then that's the end of me.
Yeah.
So then I always tell myself that I'm a student. I'm never a teacher because I always want to learn. Mm-hmm. And in entertainment, again, from 0 to 100%, maybe I only know 2 or 3%. There is so much more to learn that the sky's the limit. And that's why I love to meet people that are my competitions, to learn from them, to, again, make myself better, not because I want to compete with them. Competing to bring somebody down, I think it's the worst thing on this planet. Because not only you yourself are going to go down, but you're helping somebody else go down as well. Right. So in my view, the way that I like to compete is look at my competition, learn from them, make myself better, so when I go do an event, I know that I'm giving them my 100%.
Very well said. We talked about the positive parts about the wedding, the things that you do for them. Have you encountered, I'm sure you have, any bridezillas that you're willing to talk about? Again, you don't have to name them, but just what was your experience? What made him a bridezilla? What made your day kind of, I'm earning every dollar today. This is just driving me nuts.
We all have days that we work super hard, or much, much harder than we're supposed to work. And we say, okay, today we'd actually earn every single penny that we worked for. But I wouldn't call him a bridezilla, because to me, every bride and groom, they have captured something in their head that they want their wedding night to be that. And as an entertainer, when they contact me and talk to me, or if they want to reach out to me because if they have a question, if I'm there answering them and I can put my time and effort of explaining to them exactly how the whole day is going to go down, that's going to make that person become more at ease, and they're not going to turn into that bridezilla. But let's say if someone calls you, you don't answer, and then they call you again and you don't answer them, or for some reason you show that you don't care much, that's when you got to see that person turning into a bridezilla. So I look at all my clients as amazing people, and yeah, some of them have more expectations, but that's we all have that,
right,
in different things. And instead of me saying, okay, that's a bridezilla right there, and I'm going to treat them differently, I'm going to say, you know what, that's a person who has questions regarding their weddings or their event, and my job is to sit down, calm them down, and explain explain every single step of the way so they can actually feel at ease.
I agree with you. Communicate so expectations are met. You know, you guys aren't just thinking about different ideas. Mm-hmm. And I feel the same way. I haven't had actual bridezillas or groomzillas or whatever, but the people that I have had troubles with have been either the mother or father of the bride and groom. Right. And I can remember a wedding at, I want to say La Costa, I might be wrong, mm-hmm. where you were doing an amazing job. Mm-hmm. Everybody was dancing. There were no issues, but the mom or dad, I don't remember if it was the bride or groom, were kind of screaming at you that the music is too loud.
Right.
During the reception, during the dancing. And you really couldn't do much because you're doing your job. You're there to DJ, the speakers are there, the hotel has approved it, everything's been approved already. It's just the mom and dad were kind of screaming that the music was loud. And I tried to, I think, relay to you that, hey, they're trying to get your attention because they're like yelling at you, bringing their hands up and like actually screaming, but you probably couldn't hear them, you had headphones on. I don't remember what happened after that because I went to take photos and video and, you know, do my job. But like, what would you do in that case? Or what did you do, if you remember?
Usually when something like that happens, and that does happen a lot in the weddings because some people have very sensitive ears. And the first thing that I always tell brides and grooms when I first meet with them and they want to go ahead and make the room layout is that anyone who's noise sensitive, instead of sitting them in front of my speakers, try to sit them more towards the back of the room. And that's just because if you're trying to power your speakers and power the dance floor to a point where people are comfortable dancing, you have to bring that volume up. So anyone who's right in front of it, they're not going to be super happy with it. But if they're sitting more across the room, then at that point, by the time that sound gets to them, it's not going to be so annoying to them. So that's the first thing that I always tell everyone. If they're noise sensitive, if you have them more towards the opposite side of the room, it can actually help them out. But if it does happen during the actual event,
you just ignore them.
No, you shouldn't. When you ignore them, then you're just fueling that fire.
Right.
So I would walk up to the bride and groom at the right time, or maybe even the coordinator, and say, look, I can bring the music down, but I'm going to lose my dance floor. Do you want to, if it's a bride and groom that I'm talking to, I would say, if you can maybe explain to this person that, you know, if for some reason music is too loud, instead of being right in front of the speaker, maybe if they can dance more towards the end of the dance floor where it's not that bad.
Or it's outside.
or you know, it's totally up to you. If you think music is loud for you guys, I bring it down. But just know that once that music level comes down, I can lose that dance floor. Then at that point, I'll let the bride and groom themselves make that decision of what they want me to do. Almost every single time they say, you know what, we'll talk to them. Just go and play the music. We're okay. But if at any point I know that I'm super loud, my job is to make sure that everyone else is comfortable. I would bring it down to a more comfortable level.
Gotcha. You can be comfortable right now with your answers. How annoying is it when people come to request songs? When they're like, DJ.
It gets, it's, I shouldn't say annoying, but when you have your headphone and you transition from one song to another, and when they do that, they're throwing you off your,
your balance.
Exactly. And that's the moment that you're trying to match the beats and mix the music. And if you miss just 1/10 of a second, it's going to be horse beat. So the people are going to turn around and look at you and say, hey, what kind of a DJ are you? So that's why I always, if anyone comes up to me and they're talking to me at a point where I'm mixing my song out, I just say, just give me 1 minute and I'll switch over. But if they come up and they request music that shouldn't be played for that event, then at that point I would say, unfortunately, I can't play that song. Hopefully next time around, if we have a party, I'll make sure I'll play all your songs.
Marketing all the time, I like that.
Right.
What about vendors? Let's say hypothetically, like a photographer or cinematographer. What do they do that annoys you? Is it coming in front of you while you're trying to mix, so you can't see the crowd? Is it getting too close for photos?
No, I'm totally okay when they come in.
Just be honest, bro. Just be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the good things and the bad things. So if they're just doing their job like everyone else, they can come in front of me. What I think some videographers and photographers need to do is that as much as photo and video is important, music is important.
Right.
And everything else that's happening, your caterer, your coordinator, were all important part of that wedding or event. But there has been time where photographer, I'm doing a set and we still have another 15 minutes to go. Hey, can you kill the music right now? I want to take a group shot. And I'm looking at him and I explain to him that, look, if I stop the music right now, I'm going to lose the dance floor. And then if I'm going to bring people back on the dance floor, it's going to be hard. So let's just wait. Give me 15 more minutes before we, let's say, go into dinner or cake cutting. Right before we go into the next scene, then what I'll do is I'll have everyone come on the dance floor and then you can take your group photo or whatever.
For the record, I've never done that.
Oh, you have.
Just wanted to put it out there.
I always believe that at the beginning of the wedding, when people are dancing, the first maybe 45 minutes, it's okay to have all the lights up. But there has to be a time where you can dim the lights.
Yes.
And let people enjoy the music and dance. So I think if photographers and videographers can learn to share the moment with the DJ, that it's not always about them, that, hey, you know what, the DJ needs to do their job, so let's give him his time so we can dim the lights, make it more of a dance scene rather than all lights on. Half the people don't even want to dance when all the lights are on.
That's very fair. My recent bad experience with a DJ was we were supposed to have a grand entrance at like 7 o'clock. Coordinator comes, asks me, are you ready? I said, sure, we're ready to go. DJ's already kind of turned on music, so the guests are sitting down and all the guests are seated, meaning it's like 6:50 right now, 6:55. So grand entrance is right around the corner. The coordinator goes to the DJ and says, all right, we're going to do the grand entrance. DJ says, no, I need 15 more minutes to introduce my music and my style to the crowd. Mm-hmm. So he delayed it by another 15 minutes so he can mix and just play his music. Right. And he delayed it by 15 minutes. And I was like, that's kind of narcissistic because, again, he can do that anytime. He's there for another 5 hours, 6 hours. We need to, stick with the timeline. There's a reason because, like, we're done at a certain time and maybe cake and caterer has to come out at a certain time. So that kind of ticked me off so that I wouldn't really want to work with that DJ again. So not that I refer him or anytime, but that was kind of one of my bad experiences recently, and I was like, that's pretty annoying.
And that is annoying. It's all about the DJ. You shouldn't introduce your music
I don't even know what that means.
For 15 minutes. I mean, if you're a great DJ, you're supposed to be able to change anything and everything right there.
So that's shots fired. You're taking a shot.
Exactly.
Yeah, shots fired.
We have a timeline that so many times things change. And so many times a curveball is thrown at me that right away I have to be able to
adapt.
Exactly, adapt to it. I have my computer and it's always connected to internet. There are times that people come and request a song that maybe just came out today or a couple of days ago. And I have to be ready to get that song so I can play it for them. That's why, to me, I think it's more about whether it's a wedding, about your bride and groom, right, or any other event. It's about the person who actually hired you to do the job. It's never about the entertainer, the photographer, or the caterer. Right. And if we can't do that, then actually we're not doing our job.
Absolutely. Who DJ'd your wedding? It wasn't that long ago.
I had Mohsen, Al, and Sharon Shapar was a singer.
So you had three there.
Yes.
And in case people don't know, you were one of my three at my wedding. It was you, Mohsen, and Al. Al was more emceeing. You and Mohsen, I think, were kind of trading off, but it was very special for me too. Your wedding was pretty huge. I think everything was beautiful. I wasn't there, but we filmed it and I edited it, so I know kind of everything that happened. But if you were to go back today and like, let's say you're gonna do it over, is there anything that you would go like bigger on, or you would change, or like would you get more singers, anything like that?
No,
it was just perfect the way it was.
Yeah, I've had the right videographer. Entertainment was fine, or I should say it was amazing.
Food, cake, everything was great.
Everything, yeah.
Awesome. So we're gonna play a little game right now, okay?
Oh.
So people that can't see this, I'll describe it so they can kind of see what you're looking at. Basically, I'm going to show you pictures of yourself in different weddings. And I want to see if you can remember what the wedding was, okay?
Okay.
So here's the first one. This is you with a violinist, saxophonist. Is that correct?
Saxophone? Yeah, that's saxophone. That's violin. And I have a percussionist here.
Yes. Do you remember what wedding this was? Don't try to look at the file name, bro.
No. I'm just looking at something else.
Are you looking for the carpet so you can tell what hotel it is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You memorized the carpets?
Some hotels I do.
Okay. So you can either give me the couple or you can describe the venue, I guess. I guess both would be...
Was this in San Diego?
No, Orange County.
Orange County.
I'll give you a hint. This was the one I was talking about, the sandwich incident.
Was that Ritz-Carlton?
It wasn't Ritz-Carlton, no. It was...
or the one across the street from it?
I think it was across the street from it, yeah.
Was it...
this was the Persian...
St. Regis? No, not St. Regis. Monarch?
No, I think this was way more east. I don't think it was any of those. But this was the Korean Persian wedding we did with Masood and Kui. Okay, let me go to the next one. Maybe the next one's a little more recent. All right. Do you remember this one? So this is you. Looks like you're in, your normal environment. I'll give you a hint. This is at the same venue me and you have done a wedding with again recently.
A venue that me and you have done?
Recently. And it's close to a beach. So either give me the name of the venue or the couple if you can remember either. I know this is really hard because you can't see anything else. You're just seeing a picture of yourself. But I was like, let's see if we can maybe get them to get one of these.
A venue that me and you have done.
What's the last wedding me and you did? La
Valencia.
La Valencia. This is La Valencia.
This is La Valencia?
This is La Valencia, yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, this is La Valencia.
Okay.
And it was Sogoli and Mohamed Javad.
Oh, yes.
This is... I think I gotta look at the file name for this one. This is... oh, never mind. I know this one. This one is in San Marcos area. Mm-hmm. I'll give you the hint. And this was a wedding that...
Is this your wedding?
This is not my wedding, no.
Was it at the golf course?
It is a golf course, yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, this would have been probably 2017, 2000.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah.
Starts with the S, the venue. Shadow Ridge, yes.
Yeah.
It was Pega and Hamid.
Yes. I remember.
All right, this one is...
Is that the same one?
This is not the same one, no. This is back closer to the first one, to the second one, where it's near a beach. This is more recent than the last one, and you had a lot of the, the purple uplights all around. It complemented the room really well, that I remember. Close to La Jolla Cove. What is the venue close to La Jolla Cove?
La Valencia is...
No, this is I guess that is. This is a little further down.
Is that the woman's?
Close to there. Really, really, really close to the other side of the street.
The only thing the other side of the street is that museum.
Other side of the street, the other way.
Other way.
Yeah. We passed by the museum to go to the cliffs where they had their ceremony. Cuvier Club. This was Aydin and Negar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think there's one more. All right, this one should be very easy.
Yeah, I see the airwalk behind me.
This is our most recent one. So La Valencia again.
Okay.
Do you remember the couple? I know you do like 100 weddings, so it's really hard.
Yeah.
This was Ava and Michael.
Ava and Michael.
And that's it. Okay. So that was a warm-up. That actually wasn't the game. Okay, so
Okay.
We'll go to the game now.
But I hope the game is not as hard as this.
The game is not as hard as that. It's actually really easy. All I'm going to do is give you two choices. So, for example, I'm going to ask you, do you like red or do you like blue? If you answer, we're good. It's your opinion. We're good. You're no penalties. If you say, I don't know, or both, or neither, we're going to have you drink something that you absolutely do not like. Okay? So that's kind of going to be your penalty, and I'm going to get that out so you don't think I'm bluffing.
Is that coffee?
That is coffee.
I like coffee.
Oh, you like coffee? Okay, perfect.
I always, if it was alcohol, that would be the difference. So I don't like the taste of alcohol, I should say.
This is very, very strong coffee.
Oh, I
so
see.
If you don't choose, then unfortunately, you do have to take a sip of that coffee every time.
Oh, jeez.
All right. What's more important in a wedding, photographer or cinematographer? It's your opinion. There's no wrong answer. You're not going to offend anyone. Or it's preference.
Photographer.
Photographer. Tiesto or Armin van Buuren?
Tiesto.
Ebby or Andy?
Heavy.
Ebby. Moin or Sharon Chapere?
Moin.
Dr. Dre or DJ Premier, if you're familiar with both of them?
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. Piruz and David or Kamran and Homan?
Piruz and David, you said? Oh.
Yeah, Kamran and Homan.
Kamran and Homan.
That's your answer? Kamran and Homan?
Yeah.
Gugush or Haide?
Haide.
San Diego weddings or Orange County weddings?
Orange County weddings.
Hotel or golf course for a wedding?
Hotel.
Can I ask why?
There is more you can do at a hotel that you might not be able to do at a golf course. In my opinion, but it might be different.
Is it like mostly keep the music on until like later?
Later, if, let's say you want to do amazing lighting and you have a whole bunch of equipment that have power drops, I mean, it's much easier to get what you need at a hotel compared to if you're at a golf course. Again, my opinion.
Yeah, it's fine. This is about your opinion.
I'm sure some people might say otherwise.
Is it worse to have a drunk bride or worse to have a drunk groom?
A drunk groom.
Drunk groom?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I've had drunk brides.
You've had drunk brides?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They just become very friendly.
Okay.
But we as men depends on
on
exactly.
Makes perfect sense. I think a lot of people chose bride before because they're like, if the bride's drunk, it's like game over. Everybody kind of has to go home. But if the groom is drunk, you can just throw him to the side or put him in a room and the bride can continue with the crowd. I was like, I guess I understand both perspectives. If you were not a wedding DJ, do you see yourself being more of a planner or more of a cinematographer?
Planner.
Would you rather, again, you're not a DJ, would you rather be a florist or would you rather be an officiant? Making the same amount of money.
Florist.
Okay, that's it, man. You didn't have to take the sip of coffee. Very good. Very impressive, man.
But just so I can also say a couple of things about Andy and Abby.
They're legends, but
they're both
legends.
Exactly.
No debate.
And not only that, I know Andy personally, and I love him. He's an amazing guy, and he's the only Persian artist that I know who has his star in Hollywood.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Other Persian entertainers haven't yet had the chance to achieve what Andy has achieved. So, Andy, if you ever see this, I love you. I respect you. And I don't mean anything.
Of course not. Of course not.
Exactly. And Eddie, he's just such a wonderful person. When you meet him in person, he's all about loving everyone. So I respect them both.
I think it also goes without saying, great music can be great music.
Exactly.
But if we have a certain experience in life that resonates with us with a certain song, whether it's love or having a song like when your kid was born, something like that, that song or that artist is going to mean more to you than even another song that might be better or an artist that might be better. And I think that's why people resonate with different artists, even if, the majority might think one person's better than the other. So I think,
and
just to be
this,
fair.
this actually wasn't about who's bad. I just didn't want to drink the coffee. So I had to choose either or. And it was hard to choose either or. Even
you could have just had the coffee then.
Or even Gugush and Haide. The reason Gugush is amazing. I mean, I've seen her shows. She's actually doing another one in San Diego soon.
Oh, okay.
And but then the reason I choose Haide, I saw her in a concert a long time ago, and she was amazing. She's one of a kind. We only have a few musicians in the Persian industry that are legends. And we should love and respect them and show them how much we appreciate them when they're alive.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, Haide is not here with us right now, but she was amazing. And just when you sit down and you hear her songs, you just want to have your speakers cranked all the way up, and you can sit there and listen for hours without even getting, annoyed with her voice because it's so calming.
Yeah, I
That's
think
so
a lot of
beautiful.
people share the same sentiment. If you don't have to put them in order or anything, but if you can give us the name of your favorite top 3 Persian legends of any genre of music, who would you name?
Top 3?
Top 3.
Not in order.
Not in order.
But Dariush, Eddie, Haide. Can I go more?
No, just you want the coffee.
Can I make it 5?
Do 5. 5 is okay. 5 is okay.
Haide, Mahasti, Gugush.
I think that's 6, bro.
Was it?
I think that's 6. What can you do? 3 American non-Persian musicians, any genre?
Any genre. So I would probably say Michael Jackson for sure. And there's so many of them that are great.
Elvis.
Yeah. And someone who's with us today, I would say Shakira.
Shakira. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. I like Shakira too. If people,
There's a lot of them. But
there's obviously a
just
lot.
something that
Yeah.
comes in my
I wanted to. That's why I don't give you the questions beforehand. I wanted to come to you, see, because if you watch this maybe a month from now, you'd be like, man, why didn't I say this person? I forgot this person.
Can I clarify something?
Sure.
Just so you know, don't think because I said Elvis, I'm a kind of a person who's going to play Elvis music at the wedding and it's going to be all about 50s, 60s, and 70s music. Because a lot of times bride and grooms, they call me up and they say, can you send us a video or a mixtape that shows your style of music? And I always tell them, unfortunately, I can't because every wedding, it's different.
Right.
Some weddings they might like 70s and 80s music, but some weddings they might like today's music, or there are some that like country music and hip hop music. So the way we set or the way that I entertain is depending on what bride and groom wants for their wedding. That's the kind of music that we end up playing. So please, I'm just giving you the musicians, or I should say the singers that I like. But when it comes to music, we can play almost anything and everything.
But I mean, there's also the clause every DJ has in their contract that they don't play country music.
No, I play country music. I mean, if they request it, I'll play it.
Is there the easiest, best way for people to follow you, your work? Would that be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube? What do you prefer?
Probably Instagram, DJ Julius. That's DEEJAY. So you have to spell out the DJ portion of it. Julius, JULIUS. And I think Facebook is Julius Namovi, if I'm not mistaken. So that would probably be.
Do you have any of your own mixes out anywhere? No. Okay. And if someone wants to contact you, in today's day and age, some people prefer email, some people prefer text, calls. What do you prefer?
What we've learned is look at what the client likes.
Okay.
And be able to have them contact you the way that they're more comfortable with. Some people, they just don't like to get a phone call from somebody. They like to be contacted with text messages or emails.
But you can do all of that?
Yeah, I could do all that.
Okay.
You have to do all of that.
Okay, and then you want to just say which one do you respond with fastest, quickest? Would it be a text? Would it be email? Probably not a call, because you got to listen to like a voicemail if you miss the call, you know?
No, it all depends. If I'm next to my phone and they call out and I'm not doing anything, I'll pick up right away. If they send me a text message again, if I'm nearby, I'll pick it up. So and I check my emails throughout the day at least once an hour, so I can answer my emails. And anytime I'm overseas or in a different time zone, I always let my clients know that if you gotta reach me, if I don't call you back within 24 hours, it's probably I'm either in a plane or in a different time zone. Please allow me 24 to 48 hours to get back to you.
I remember this triggered another memory of mine. 10 years ago, me and you were in Sufi, and you told me you return phone calls to everyone within 24 hours. And I was like, 24 hours? I was like, bro, what kind of time do you have? Like, you got like family, you got maybe like video games, sports, working out. 24 hours, how do you do that? And then I was like, that's the right way. I don't want to wait more than 24 hours for someone to get back to me when it's something important. So I kind of adopted the 24-hour rule from you, even though, yes, before on vacation it may take longer, but at least if they call, you can send them a text, you can send them an email, hey, we got you, we got your text, we got your email, or you can call them back and be like, hey, we can talk tomorrow, let's schedule a call. So I think I got that from you. So good rule.
It's so easy to call somebody back. Mm-hmm. We have so much time throughout the day that we're not doing anything.
Do we?
So yeah, we do. We just act like we're busy sometimes, and this is why I always tell myself that the client trusted you enough that they called you and they hired you. So be professional enough to be there when they need to talk to you. And if you're not able to answer the phone because, again, you're on a flight or you're in a different time zone, at least have your voicemail or your email send an auto reply saying that, hey, I'll definitely get back to you within 24 to 48 hours because I'm not in the country.
So the bottom line is, if a wedding vendor doesn't return your call or text or email within 48 hours, do not book them.
There's no
100%.
Such a thing in a world that I'm busy 24 hours a day. Nobody is busy 20. I mean, again, I don't think I'm busy 24 hours a day. We are busy, but I'm sure we have enough time to grab the phone and pick up and call somebody.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Hope to see you again. I'm sure I'll see you again in a wedding. And if someone comes up to you to make requests, I'll just push them away.
Thank you. And one thing before I say goodbye is these podcasts are really an amazing thing, because if you're trying to hire a photographer, a DJ, or any vendor, I think by looking at these podcasts, you can learn things to do and things not to do. So if I was you watching these podcasts, go through all of them, sit down, watch it from the beginning to the end, because there might be just one thing in that podcast that can save your...
Just watch and listen to yours from beginning to end, because if they go through all of them, that's 40, 50 hours, so they're not going to be able to return phone calls.
Imagine, like you said, you did one, your last one was with The Fabulous 2, right?
Yes.
imagine the kind of stories that they share with you
right.
and how much information you can learn from them. So these are great things, and thank you for doing them. I'm sure you're going to end up helping a lot of people watching your podcast.
Before we go, do you want to share your craziest wedding story? I don't think we got to that. What's the craziest thing you've seen at a wedding ever in life, last 30 plus years?
I wouldn't say who, but the whole event canceled the day of.
The wedding canceled?
Yeah.
Why did they cancel?
Again, let's just... So that
I don't think you can just leave this on a cliffhanger, because then, I mean, I guess we could, then they just tune in for episode 2.
Exactly. Just tune in for the next episode, you'll find out.
Can I ask what time? Like, was it during getting ready? Like, she put on her dress and left? Was it, because you said canceled. There's so many parts to a wedding.
Was right before ceremony.
Right before the ceremony.
Yes.
Are there vendors from that wedding that are still in the wedding business today?
Probably, yes.
There is.
Yes.
And why did they cancel again?
Tune into the next episode.
I think I know this story, so I'm just going to give you one hint. You just say yes or no, okay? Was this because of a musician? Not DJ, musician.
No, that's a different one.
So there's two weddings. Oh, man. Well, looking forward to hearing that in episode 2 with you if you come back.
Sure.
Have a great rest of your weekend, and good luck with everything. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, and please expect people to call you with discount requests.
I'm looking forward to it.
Just kidding.
If you actually want discounts, all you got to do is call this photographer and videographer. It gives you amazing discounts. Usually it charges $100,000, but today's rate is
$99,999.
No, but thank you so much for listening to us, and hope to see you soon again.
Sounds good.
Thank
Take care. Bye. We're out.